Hello everyone and welcome. This is Alicia, getting tongue twisted already, of the Chardon Sign Shack, coming to you live from Chardon, Ohio. Hello and welcome. Welcome. As you're hopping on, please say hello. And I am going to try to pull my secondary comments up here. So please, as you're hopping on, let me know where you're watching from. If you're watching on, I don't know why I can't get this situated here. I wonder if I'm going to have luck the first time on my comments. I'm sure. Ooh, I got my wrong. I had my old painting apron on, so let me change out of that and get my stencil smith apron on. Hold on just a minute here. Okay, there we go. So hop on, say hello, please say hello so I can see if my comments, I see there's one comment, but apparently it's still not working. Thank you for sprinkling, Bonnie. Yes, make sure to sprinkle, which means to do this. Let me see if I can get my comments working here. I always have the darndest time doing this, I tell ya. I don't know why everything has to be so difficult on Facebook, especially anymore. It just feels like, let me see. I'm still not getting secondary comments, so let's try this again. It has been a day. Let me. Look, I got 17 comments. Hello, Vicky. I can see you on my phone, but I would rather see it on my secondary device here because I don't want to comment. I'm sorry, guys. I see there's a lot of sprinkles. It is not. You know what? Let me close it and open it again. I'm so sorry. See, I need to go on. Honestly, I was so late getting on here. Well, not late getting on here. I just dried my hair a couple minutes ago. We had the grandkids for 2 days, the grandsons. I think I'm going to be, I can see comments now. Sorry about that. Sometimes, oh, that's awesome, Christina. So let me swipe the comments away up here. Thank you for sprinkling. I'm sorry that took so long. I'm going to try to start going on a couple minutes before 4. It just, I have to have 3 devices. One so I can real time everything. My secondary device is like on a delayed reaction, but I can see comments on it. So it's a whole thing. It's a lot. If you've never done a live, it's a lot to do a live. And every time I go on, hi Lita, how are you? Hi Rena. It just seems like I went live, I think Saturday and Sunday. I had no problem. It just went right to the comments. One of those days it went right to the comments. But today is not the day. So welcome. I'm so glad to see everybody. I missed a lot of comments. Nancy, Vicky, Sandy. Of course, April's on here. I'm sure. Yep. I'm here. Oops. Shoot. Okay. I clicked on something. I don't want to do that again. I went back. Oh, okay. Well, maybe that's why I had such a hard time. They're constantly changing things on Facebook, and we creators, like, there's no how to do this, how to do that. You just kind of gotta fiddle with it and figure it out. And So I got the secondary comments up. April's having a little bit of time. Hi, Margaret. I'm glad you found the live. Welcome. We go live every Tuesday at 4 p.m. EST. It's on my channel. It's on the Paint and Share, and it's also on the Stencil Smiths channel. So welcome. Make sure to sprinkle. This is what it means to do, to sprinkle. There will be a little arrow. It should be, I think, in your left-hand corner. You hit it, and you can sprinkle that out. Invite your friends, if you have crafting friends, to come watch. These are the stencils we're doing today. So it's 9.6, 9.8, a 12-inch, and 6.232 in the medium. And I do have those links and sizes listed above. I will list the pillowcases, or the pillowcase. Silly Facebook, right? April's got it figured out. Hi, Stacy. So those are the stencils. They're going to be on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. You're going to save an additional 15% with my code SIGNSHACK, and that's SIGNSHACK. And you can at any time use that code up here to SIGNSHACK, and that'll save you 15% on everything else. So welcome. I'm so glad to have you all here. I'm going to set this aside. Now for sprinkling, make sure you write sprinkled in the comments, and make sure that you sprinkle. So we are going to do 2 projects, and they're going to be right here. I'm going to do one on fabric and one on a board. So the one that I'm doing is, I love this, well-behaved children welcome. The rest will be made into pies. So this one right here, and this is the medium, and I think that's just gorgeous. So I'm going to be making that. I'll do that second. And then the first one we're going to do is, this is one of my favorites, and I put it on a pillow last year. I wanted to put it on a sign, but I never got around to it. But I am going to put it on another pillow for the show. So this is, make sure I have it on the right side. And you'll know, like this still has the sticker on it, so it's easy to tell when they first come. But lots of times that sticker will fall off. So if you look on your overlay, it will always say the number of the stencil, if you can see that, I think you can, the size, and 2 pieces. So if there were 3, it would say 3 pieces, and it's going to be stamped on both sides. So you'll know when you're going to place your overlay that that overlay is the correct way, because the numbers, and you can feel them. Oftentimes I can't see them, but I can feel them. So I'm going to angle you down, and we're going to start, but those are the 2 stencils we're going to do today. I did not wash these pillowcases, because in truth, I did not know. Oh, let me show what you're going to get for sprinkling. That would help too, right? So these are going to be, I picked 2 little ones, a mini, and this is like a little mini, but save the candy. Save your candy. I'll take the booze, which I did on a sign I think I might have out here. I'm not sure. And then just here for the booze, and that has the overlay on it. Look at the little smiling face of the ghost. So those are going to be the 2, but this will be going to 1 winner. Hi, Sandy. Hi, Cindy. So make sure you did it on a pillow too. Yes, I've done it on a pillow. I did it on gray, and I was going to do another one on gray because I liked it so much. I'm telling you, I had all kinds of problems before the live. It's like, you know, Murphy's Law. Everything went wrong. It was just one of those days. So anyhow, so I have not washed this. This is like a weave. I did not know how it would wash out. Oftentimes when I sell these, see the weave on that? It's like a burlap, but really tight. Oftentimes when I sell these pillows, I do tell people, and they're usually seasonal, and usually people use them for decoration. So they don't, it's not really like a lot of wear and tear, but you want, let me pull that forward a little bit. Okay. So I tell them to spot clean them. You can wash the pillowcases ahead of time. They do shrink. Just to give you an idea, this is an 18-inch as well. And I was ironing it, but for some reason it was putting like dark marks in it when I was ironing it. So I had to go another route. I was going to do this gray. This was washed ahead of time. And see how they wrinkle up? But you can see like they shrink. They do shrink just a little bit when you wash them. So the pillowcases, I have been not washing them, just putting them on. They would still fit if they did wash them in the washer. I would always recommend on them to wash them in cold water, gentle, if they're going to wash them. But I would try to spot clean them. But like I said, I think most people, let's see if I go up a little bit. I think we can get it in. Yeah, there we go. They're just seasonal, so it's not like they have them out all the time. And you know how nobody wants you to touch your decorative pillows. So yeah, I don't think this is washable. I did not read the instructions because I had to go grab another pillowcase for live, because the one I was going to use, I was like, what the heck is happening here? So it has a zipper. This has a zipper at the bottom. And this is nice. Ooh, look at that. I hadn't looked at these before, but they are lined on the inside. See how that's lined? So there's a light lining on the inside. And I use these sticky boards. They're like generic ones. And I use the heavy duty sticky. And I get them on Amazon. And I'm probably going to have to, because this opening is not as big as the other ones, kind of finagle this one in here. I did iron it before my live. And when I iron these, I do put, I have these little wax paper things, and I definitely put it on this because I didn't want to scorch this fabric. So you can kind of see, I think, the outline of this. But it causes the fabric to stick to it. And also, it prevents a bleed through to the other side because you don't want to have your design on the other side. Can you spray with like water, or I would just recommend spot cleaning. It's very nice with the lining. I really like these. I haven't used them. I've had a plan. I always have a plan when I buy stuff. And then are you like me, and pretty soon you have a stack of stuff like this high, and then a stack over there and another stack over there, and you have stacks everywhere. And my stacks like to get together and multiply. At least that's what I'm beginning to think at this point. So I am going to get this stencil, and I love this one. I think this is so cool, and I think this is going to look really good on this burlap. And this is the 12-inch. You could probably even go a little bit larger if you wanted on this. Maybe the next size up, I would measure your pillowcase. But the thing is, you have to remember too, now this is one that I did about a week ago or something. So when you put the pillow in, it puffs it. So you do lose a little bit like on the bottom and on the top. So it kind of curves it kind of outward. You know what I mean? So, and this is a much bigger design. I didn't even know if this would fit on this pillowcase, but see, it would look fine on this too. But you have to realize you're going to lose some to like the curve. So I love this stencil. I feel like I don't know if I'm that unusual, but I feel like I'm definitely a little strange sometimes. Aren't we all, right? We're all unique and different, and that's a great thing. If everybody was the same, it'd be awful darn boring. Yes, Judy says, which I need to do mine because mine is bordering on, it's still sticky, but it's not super sticky. So Judy, and I know Bonnie had mentioned to it one time, you don't have to rebuy them. So this is one I've cut in half that I use on smaller like kids t-shirts. or towels, if you rinse them off, they become sticky again. Because the lint, you can see the lint, well, I don't know if you can see in the camera, the lint sticks to it and it kind of loses its sticky. So that's another great point. Thank you so much. And I'm just gonna, I took a visual, but I'm gonna take a little, that's 3. I'm gonna move it down just a bit. I wanna make sure this is pretty even here, and that's pretty even. And this is an 18 by 18, I believe. Let me measure, but the inserts and the pillows, yeah, they're 18 by 18. And they're really pretty. I hope they stencil nicely. We will see. You're gonna find out just like me. Let me get a piece of paper. My daughter had training at the school the past 2 days, so we had the grandkids, all 3 of them, for both days. And the littlest one, Finn, he's 6, and he is just like, if you are not watching him, he might be taking the hubcaps off your car. Like, you just don't know about that kid. So he's a lot. So Bonnie says use warm soapy water, then rinse. So thank you so much for sharing that with us, Bonnie and Judy. So I've taped mine down, and I'm going to start with Deco Arts So Soft fabric paint. I really, really like this. And it dries very soft, just like it says. You don't have to heat set. There's always one. It's the last one. I told my daughter, that is the one that's going to put you in the nut house. He's sweet as can be, and if you keep him focused on a task, he's great. He loves to help. But boy, oh boy, he is into everything. He might have my good wood out here and up on the workbench, and he's got the drill out and he's drilling holes in it and nailing stuff. I mean, it's hard to tell. He knows how to change the batteries on everything, on all the power tools. We went to the playground today, and they have these little like workout machines where you use your body weight, and they couldn't move them. Oh, Nancy says spray your finished pillow. Hey, Cindy, how are you? I'm glad you have the day off. Thank you. Spray finished pillow with Scotch Guard. That's an excellent tip. Thank you so much. I will have to do that before the show, because I made a couple, and I'm going to make a couple more. Thank you, Julie. I appreciate that. So for sprinkling, Julie just popped on and sprinkled. These are the giveaways today. I'm just here for the booze with the little ghost with the eyes. It's going to be a twofer. We're doing 2, so we're going to give away 2 little minis. I like these. Save your candy. I'll take the booze. So I don't drink, and after today I might, after 2 days of Finn. That sounds horrible. So I am going to get a little bit of paint. It's going to be a little globby there. Just like so. And this is a big area. This is fabric, but it is a big area. So I'm going to start, I'm not going to offload because it's such a big area, because it will offload towards it. Ooh, I can tell this already stencils really nicely. So I'm just going to start, and I've got just a little bit. Normally I would offload onto my shop towel, but this is absorbing it. This is very nice. And I think I'll do the other crow on another pillow. I have the crow with the moon. I think I will do that on another pillow. This did look really pretty on the gray pillowcase. So I should have got mine out of my dresser and showed you. So I'm kind of offloading, starting in the middle and offloading as I go towards the edges. If you are not comfortable with this, don't do it, because fabric is You mess it up, you might have to add another star or a bat. You can always add a little something, but it can be really, really hard. This stencil's fabulous. I might do one of those spooky pumpkins on this too. This would be cool on this burlap. And it's a very fall looking fabric. Somebody said it's like a hemp. I don't know for sure. I got it on Amazon, Kimberly, and I am going to I will post the link in the beginning at the description right after the live. I just have to go back on my Amazon cart and see which one it was. I believe it was a 4-pack. I hadn't used these before, but I'm telling you right now, it stencils very nicely. This is a really nice quality here. And so I'm kind of coming down here. And like I said, I did not offload, but I don't have like a huge mountain of paint on my brush. It's not like I have a huge amount of paint. I'm just dipping the tip in. And I am trying to kind of keep my fingers, and see that sticky board sticks the fabric down. If you've ever stenciled like a t-shirt or a sweatshirt and you know how they move so bad, it's horrible. So now I've got that one coat there. I am gonna start offloading because I don't have big areas here to offload towards the edge. And I'm just very lightly, using my fingers, very lightly, stenciling this in here. Just kind of dancing around the design. Doing the twist with my brush, I guess. So I hope everybody had a good weekend, a good week. I love myself. I myself am a haunted house, so I like that. I'm a little kooky, I tell ya. You know how you think you're going to get older and you're going to slow down? No, that hasn't happened for me. I don't know if it's just because I am getting older. I don't know how I get everything, how I, like worked full time, and I don't know. I just don't know. It's amazing. So I am offloading. I do like to offload on these shop towels. So if you're new to stenciling, you can use paper towels, you can use coffee filters, you could use stuff like this paper here that, of course, you can't see because it's not turned right, but this paper right here. Your paper plates, it doesn't offload on very good because they're slick. So, yeah, the sticky boards for fabrics are just amazing and fabulous. Oh, it does. Yeah, I did some burlap flags. Now, did yours work good, Carol? Mine curled in the sun. I had a problem with that. Did you find a brand that stayed good in the sun? Because I would love to know about that brand. Because I would like to offer like fabric flags as well as the wooden ones. I'm making a couple more wooden ones for our show. One we did last year with the crow, the primitive crow and the star, and I think we put gather on it. I really liked that one. So we're just gonna do, but I figured we could get 2 projects done because it's not a whole lot of anything to this. So I am gonna give it a quick dry. You don't have time? I know, me neither. Yeah, the sticky boards for fabric is like a game changer. I cannot remember who told me about it. I don't know if it was Judy or it might have been Pamela. I don't even think she stencils anymore. I missed a little piece right here. I didn't see that. Need to get at least a coat on that. Right there. But it's just the most fabulous thing. It works so well. Like, there's not a ton of sticky left on this board. I do have to wash it. But I will tell you, it sticks really good. Like it's not shifting at all. So I'm going to start again in the middle. I did not offload. I'm hoping to just have to do 2 coats of this, but I might have to do 3. Are you missing a piece by his hat up here? Yeah, I kind of did. I kind of did. And you know what? I don't think I have any Deco Arts So Soft black, so I'll probably have to add, I want to make the little highlights gray, I think, so I'll have to add a little white to the black. Yes, I did, Becca. Thank you. Was it you, Sherry? See, Sherry's like, me. I didn't miss that. Hey, Lynn, how are you? I usually miss something, Becca. I'm telling you. But thank you, girls, so much for helping me out when I do. I really, truly appreciate it. Like last week when I messed up on my board, I had to really think about it. I thought I had it thought out before the live, and I didn't, and then I still messed it up, even though I knew what I was supposed to do. This is like one of my very favorite stencils. I really like this one. I think it's super cool. And again, I'm not offloading. I'm kind of starting in the middle and going outwards, so it offloads as I go. It's a bigger area. It's fabric, so it's kind of absorbing it. And the same here. And I may have to do like a 3rd quick coat on this. So let me tell you a little bit, if you're new to me or new to the Stencil Smith. My name is Alicia and I'm the ambassador for the Stencil Smith. I believe I am coming up, I think, on 3 years of doing it for April and Pete, and I love representing them. They're such great people. It's such a great company. They have been around for 19 years. Next year will be their 20th year anniversary. And they have over 10,000 stencils, multiple sizes, not just one. Like this one probably comes in 4 or 5 sizes. I don't know for certain. But they come in a lot, and if there's ever a size that you can't find, or you need like a bigger size or a smaller size, if April can make it happen for you, she will. So it's wonderful. They're a wonderful company. Their brushes are the bomb. If you're stenciling, of course you need to offload, but these brushes make all the difference in the world. I was thinking she meant they stopped being sticky. Yeah, when they stop being sticky, you wash them, because the lint from the fabric sticks to them. I haven't washed mine, and mine are still like, I would have to peel this off of it. They're still enough sticky that it's fine. But Becca and Bonnie have, and she said to wash them in warm, soapy water. And then I assume you would just let them air dry. I think. Would that be correct, Bonnie or Becca? Was it Bonnie or it wasn't Becca, it was Judy. I'm getting my gals mixed up here. But yeah, so the Stencil Smith has been around for a long time. Their shipping is lightning fast. Everything's cut to order, so nothing is ever out of stock. You don't have to worry about that. Like, oh, we've only got a couple left. You better get your order in. And that never happens there. It's always in stock. All they have to do is cut the Mylar, which is a really, really nice thing to know. That you don't have to worry, because you might see something and maybe you can't get it yet and you want to get it later. It's still going to be there. Hi, Pamela. How are you? Not you this time. So it's a wonderful, wonderful company. I am in Ohio. They are in Ohio. I typically get mine in about 2 to 3 days. I know I have heard people say that are in California, the same thing. They get them in like 3 or 4 days. So the shipping's great. I have never, I think one time I had to wait like a whole week for an order, but it was the post office. It was nothing, it was on their end. You know how that goes. Sometimes you watch the tracking and you're like, well, I'm not sure why, if they're in Columbus and I'm in, you know, the Northeast, the Cleveland area, why it would go down to Virginia before it came. It's just weird how they do it sometimes. It makes no sense. I'm pretty sure I did that a second time. I love the font on this too. The font is so cool. It's very old-fashioned looking, I think. You know, like those old fairy tale books, kind of. I had this old Cinderella book I had for years. They gave it to me at the library because I checked it out so many times. Was it Cinderella? Yeah, it was Cinderella. No, it wasn't Cinderella. It was Snow White. That's what it was, because it had the dwarfs in it. The dwarfs. Snow White and Seven Dwarfs. So I checked it out so many times, but you know how they always, like at the beginning of a chapter, they'll have like this kind of font, and then it goes into the regular font. It's so pretty. Exactly, Lita. They are awesome. Gothic style, yep. I guess that's what you would call it. I'm not good with my fonts. Thank you so much, Jarita and Lynn. It just reminds me of kind of like the fairy tales. I don't know whatever happened to that book. I know I don't have it anymore, unless it's up in the attic somewhere. I tend to save a lot of things. But I have gotten rid of a lot of things. I've been better. Okay, so I'm going to do one more coat on this. And I'm just, again, starting in the middle and offloading as I go. Especially up here where I only got, like, the one coat because I missed half the hat. I do stuff like this. I love this Deco Arts So Soft fabric. There's no need to heat set it. It's amazing. And it's very, like, you put it on pillows or you put it on shirts. It is soft. It doesn't dry. You know how paint can dry very stiff. Get these little feathers here. So make sure if you haven't done it that you've sprinkled. We would appreciate it. You're in Idaho. That's awesome. It depends too how, I think, rural you are too. Like, I guess I would be, we're in the suburbs, but, you know, we're a suburb, they say, of Cleveland, but I mean, we're quite away. We're at least an hour from Cleveland, at least 40 minutes. But, like, you know, when you say, where are you from in Ohio, you would say, you know, close to Cleveland. Oops, I don't want that paint. I want the Deco Arts paint. And this is just lamp black, just like the Deco Arts. It's the same color. I painted my wood before my live, and my intention was to put white on it and then put a black on it and sand it back a little bit, but I had to sand most of the white off because I started putting the black on. It was just one of those days, and for some reason the paint that I put on was really gummy, the white paint. I don't know if you've ever had that happen before, but it was super, super gummy-like, sticky. It wouldn't dry, and it's not humid. It's cool and windy today. It's actually sunny. It's a beautiful, beautiful day. It's like perfect weather. Couldn't be any prettier. I mean, it's not swimming weather, but it's just beautiful weather. You can open your windows, enjoy the sunshine. It's nice to turn the air. Oh, you found it on Amazon? Okay, yeah, you can get it. I ordered it from their website. I didn't know you could get it on Amazon. They don't have like a ton of really cool colors, but you can mix to get a color. Like their colors are limited. It's not like their Deco Arts where they have, oh, hundreds of colors. Like I need a gray, so I'm going to have to mix some white. But it really does, it's very nice. I love my Fusion paint, but I found when I used Fusion paint on towels, it was certain colors would fade. The black typically didn't, but the yellow definitely faded. Okay, so I am going to take this off. And we're gonna do the overlay then. Ooh, look how pretty that is. I love that. I love, love, love that. And it's kind of like an off-white. It's an ivory color. Yeah, our pool is really cold now. I don't know what it is, but my husband, he's like, oh, it's okay. You can come in. I'm like, not this girl. It's okay when it's really warm. It is pricey on Amazon. It may be, I couldn't say for sure. I don't know. I love this. I think this is just a gorgeous stencil. So let's make sure it's nice and dry here. Yeah, I think our pool's probably like in the low 70s now, and it was like 86 just like a week ago. And doing your gray. Trick on the black background as a coat. We were in faux fall. I would say we're in faux fall here too. Yeah, I usually try to get it on sale, and I think like if you sign up for emails or something like that, you can get a pretty good price. So you want to make sure that, of course, it's going the right way, and put your overlay on there, and it's just like a puzzle piece. And I think that looks super good. And this is such a nice, phenomenal overlay that honestly, it looks like you've hand done the feathers, I think. It's just absolutely beautiful. Couldn't be any nicer. So I am gonna mix. Your pool is 62 today. Woo, Sandy, that's really cold. And you're, I think, way further south than us. Ours, I don't know, I haven't checked, but I imagine it's like in the low 70s, but it was like, we had it like up to 86. I was loving it. Okay, so I'm gonna take a little bit of white here, this So Soft. I don't think I have a gray. I think I looked the other day and I don't have a So Soft gray. Pretty sure. They might have a gray. No, I just got the blacks and stuff. So let's just use this white here. And I'll put a little bit of white out. And you should never do what I'm doing. Don't do this over your fabric. But I have limited space here. And I'm actually just going to use the same brush here since I'm going to be mixing it. I'm going to pick up just a little bit of black and mix it in with this white. And I think I'm going to get a little bit more of this black. I want it a little bit. And you could use a little palette knife to do this or something. And I'm going to take just a touch more white. Just keep mixing till you get it where you want it. Maybe just a dab, the littlest dab. And mix it in here. Lighten it up a little bit. Just like so. And this will be plenty of paint. And I think this is going to be a good gray. We'll see. And I'm going to offload, and I've got it all up in the brush. because I used the brush. I should have used like a little palette knife and mixed it. So let's just offload that. You definitely want to offload it. These are smaller little bridges here. And let's just go around. And I'll take a peek and see if that is a light enough gray. I may want to go just a little bit lighter. And of course you could use white if you wanted. So I'm going to take a peek and see here. No, I want that lighter. So let's add a lot more white. Okay, that's better. So see, I've got it like a lot lighter there. See how much darker it was there? And like I said, I should have grabbed a palette knife when I did this. You want to get all that extra off your brush. Okay, and I'm going to go and I'm going to lay this down again. And I'll take a peek and see what we have there. How many of you have done this stencil? I know it was a really popular one last year. Okay, let me take another peek and see. It's 95. Oh. Yeah, I could have used that too. Ooh, I like that. I'm going to do one more little coat over it, give it a quick dry. That looks pretty. That's awesome, Bonnie. I love this one. Okay. I'm going to do just a little bit more. Just one more light coat, very light. That first coat was very dark. It looked good, but it wasn't what I wanted. I wanted it to show up just a little bit more. So there we go. Let's take a look. Ooh, I like it. What do you guys think? Do you like that? Do you like that gray on the black? Like that? I think it's really pretty. It looks like the light's hitting it. Look how pretty. What a pretty crow is he. Right? Ooh, I like that. So let's take this out. So now we can take this out. I'm really not going to close these bridges because honest, this font is so cool. You don't really need to close the bridges. It looks super cool. It looks the way it's supposed to look. So then you're going to get, I have these pillow inserts, and I'll link the pillow inserts as well on Amazon. So they come like this. Let me pull the, like this. They come mushed down like they're real flat, and you can get a 4-pack of them. And then I let this one out so it would kind of fluff up. You can throw them in the dryer to fluff them a little bit if you want, like just on air. I've done that before. And I'm going to put my brush over here, and I'm actually going to put it in the baggie before I end up doing something stupid with my pillow. But I think this is gorgeous. I think this will be I might make 2 of these and then 2 of the, I'll show you the other crow too. I forgot to pull it before the live. I wanted to show you that. This crow is, now you have to have that stencil. I know, it's a cool stencil, isn't it? This stencil, I think it's the 12-inch, right? I have it written somewhere. Pretty sure it's the 12-inch, Bonnie. Yeah, it's the 12-inch. So that's the 12-inch, and I think it looks really, really nicely on the 18-inch, especially once you get that pillow. This pillow might be more challenging to get in here because this has a little opening. Gee whiz. So let's do some contortions here, as long as I don't have to do them. I don't want to tear it. And be careful too that you don't have paint on your fingers, because I have messed stuff up, fabric up like that, especially if you're like me and you put, okay, I gotta use my body here, guys. The other pillowcases have a much bigger opening. Ooh, see, that's what I was afraid of. I ripped it. Oh, be super careful. I'm gonna have to sew that. Okay. So I did rip that, and that stinks right there. So you're gonna have to be very careful when you're putting that in. I ripped it right here because it's a very tiny opening. And I always cut these things off here. These like do not remove, by order of law, that kind of stuff. I just get rid of those. So I'm gonna zip this up. So you will be have to be careful of that. So I'm gonna have to see. I'll have to mend right there at the pillow. But look how adorable that looks. I love that. Yes, I'm selling them with the forms in them, Sandy. I was gonna sell them without, but then I thought, you know what? I might maybe I'll make this and make a make a pillow. You rebel. Maybe don't fluff the pillow too much. Ooh, I bet that did look pretty. Becca said she put a little bit of pillow or a little bit of purple in her gray, and it looked really cute. So this is the 12-inch stencil. The pillowcase is an 18-inch. Maybe that's what you're asking, Bonnie, 18-inch, but I really couldn't love this any better. I think this is adorable. So it actually, Heather's probably, I could get my sister-in-law. I am not a very good sewer. I don't have a machine. I used to, but I gave it away. But that has got to be fixed. I have to mend that before the show. But look, I mean, I want to keep it for myself, and I already have one. But it's in gray. So I'm going to set this aside, and we'll go on to our next project since we have 2 of them today. And if you haven't sprinkled, make sure to sprinkle. They don't sell well without the forms. Okay, Sandy, that's good advice. At both ends of all of my covers. Do you hand stitch it, Patty, or do you use a sewing machine? I really do not. I dislike sewing very much. Anybody who can sew, I know, that's what I was going to say, Heather. I can give it to you. I have another one I can make for the show. Or you can mend it for the show. Pretty please, I know you don't have enough to do. So Heather's my sister, for those of you that don't know. So this is the giveaway today. It's 2 little ones. Just here for the booze. And you can see the little overlay ghost eyes down there. And save your candy, I'll take the booze. How cute are those? You love to sew, Susan? Are you close to Cleveland, Ohio? That's how much I dislike it. Okay, so I painted this board. So this is the next stencil we're gonna do, which I just love this. And I thought also what would be really cool, I made some Bigfoot sign. I've made some signs and put them on stakes. I don't see, let's see. I don't know if I see any of my stakes here, but you could use, there they are. So you get these in the garden. My husband and I, these are really thick, but like this one is so thick, I would cut it in two, you know, on the table saw. And when I say I mean Jeff, because the table saw scares me. And probably shorten this up a little bit, but how cute would this be on stakes, which I may put it on stakes to sell. Because I think a stake, I think you'd almost need 2 stakes. But how cute would that be, you know, in your walkway when they're coming up? And you can get these, they have thinner, smaller ones too, I think, but these you can get in the garden center, these big stakes, at Home Depot or Lowe's or anything like that. But they're pretty cool. So I have this board, and it is, let's see, I think it's a 1x10. I know, wouldn't it be cute? So it's a it's not a 1x10. Must be a 1x8. And it is cut about 18 inches long. It's a beautiful piece of wood, and I put this white paint on it, and it was this white paint I had for a long time. And I didn't realize it had something in it that made it real sticky. So I was going to do a coat of white. Oh, you like that? I think it would be really cute, like right at your doorway. Ooh, that sounds fun, Kathy, going to Disney. So I had to sing, like, it was like the worst hour before Alive I think I've ever encountered. So it's not, it still feels like a little tacky. It's just the worst stuff. I almost had to resand the whole thing, but I didn't have time. So this is white with a little bit of black black. It's white, and my intention was to kind of like pull the edges and distress some of the white on it, but that white is like horrible. I've never encountered a paint like that that was so sticky. I was going to distress it, and I distressed it, and it just was gummy. And like I said, it's not humid. I'll do a little bit more. So I had to sand it off. I don't know why I didn't get I didn't think I had time. So anyhow, it's neither here nor there, but it was not good. So this is a medium. And how cute is this? How cute is this going to be at your door, right? So let's angle you down there. Go that way. And we'll have most of it in. So I'm just going to do this in simple white and black. I think it would look cute too in a like off-white lettering, like a real ivory or something like that. But I am going to do white, and I'm just going to do Deco Arts warm white. I like that one a lot. Or you could use Fusion Mineral Casement. I'm actually going to put this little bit of black I have left before it dries out back in my container. So let's just shake it up and squirt some out. And I'm going to get probably a 1/2 inch here. And I know I've said it, but I really, really mean it. These brushes are the best. If you haven't gotten any, they make a wonderful, wonderful. And Susan, if you're still on here, I meant to send you, but the Stencil Smith She might be able to put it in the comments, but I will try to send you it. She wanted a bloopers. I think it was Susan. I can't remember now, who wanted a bloopers reel, like for not what to do. She was getting bleeds. And I would definitely watch. April has a stenciling 101 video that's very, very good on their website. So I've got that white on there, and I'm just gonna, again, start to dance around there. I love anything. And you can buy these border corners. There's many sets of them. They are amazing, these border corners. They're really, really nice. That's why I knew we could get 2 signs done, because one was just a pillow. Okay, it was you. Yes, Susan. So Susan, if you go to their website, don't go now, but they'll have videos. And April has a wonderful video, and I think it's called Stenciling 101. And it is really, really good. And it's very like zoomed in. They did a really professional, nice job on it, showing you how to prevent leads. But the biggest advice I can give you is you're going to get, you know, your paint. So you're going to have just like on the tip, you want it on the tip. So it's a little wet there, you can see, but you're going to take that shop towel or paper towel, whatever you're offloading on, and really work that paint out of there. You want a dry brush so you can see like the difference. See how dry that is? You may have to do 2 or 3 coats, but it's better than having to do a bunch of touch-ups or just even sanding off. And I mean, I've done it. I've been there. I'll show you my tray when I'm done. I have it behind me on my shelf. But I had to sand that off after the live last week. I was like, oh, it was so disheartening when I did that, and I put that little curly cue the wrong way, and everybody was telling me, they were trying to tell me right away, and I missed it. So, and it also helps if you take your fingers and you kind of place them as you go and kind of hold them. You have to be careful, like around N's, maybe W's, M's sometimes can be, you can flip those up if you're not careful, but you're just using the littlest bit of paint. Awesome, awesome, April, thank you. So April linked that video there, but I meant to send that to you, but I feel like that was 100 years ago, and it was just 2 days ago, I think, when you asked for that. So I apologize, but it's a really, really good video. And you can go back and watch it as many times as you want because it's on their website, which also somebody asked today, the sunflower, the faux sunflower stained glass that I did upload that to my YouTube channel today. So that is there. Hey, Debbie, how are you? I know. I have a really bad habit too. I guess April's my dealer. I don't know. I've got a cart full. Oh, look at that. See, I do silly stuff like this all the time. I did not even get 1 coat on that border corner right there. I don't know what is wrong with me. So you can dry over your stencil. Just move it back and forth. When you clean them, I know a lot of people ask on the Paint and Share what they clean with. Now, I used to clean with Awesome from the dollar store, Dollar Tree, and it cleans perfectly fine, and it's cheap. But my lungs couldn't handle the, thank you, Bonnie. That's awesome, Susan. You'll get better and better. You'll be a pro in no time at all. She's definitely your dealer. But I couldn't stand the effect on my lungs. It really stung, and like it was hard to do that. So I switched to Dawn Power Wash, And it does last a long time. And boy, you put that stuff on there and let it set for just a couple minutes and come back. Like I'll be cleaning up some stuff out here and I go back in and it just slides right off that. Even the Fusion Mineral Paint, which sometimes can be hard to get off. It's harder, or I found in the past it was. I remember the first time I didn't know anything about anything when I started stenciling, and that was one of the things. I was like, well, how the heck am I going to clean these? I didn't know anybody to ask. I hadn't seen any videos yet, and so I used a magic eraser because I couldn't get the paint to come off, and I was like, oh my goodness. And I used a magic eraser and it did work, but it ended up like being super costly to use magic erasers every time. And I do like to clean my brushes. I know I've seen where some people say, oh, they don't ever clean their brushes, or they don't clean them right away, they'll let them set. I don't recommend letting them set. Like I'll put them in water maybe while I'm, if I'm done with them, if they're not wrapped up with a towel, in a baggie, or you could use a wet paper towel or a wet wipe, bleach wipe, anything like that. But I don't like to let them set. Like when I'm done crafting, I clean my brushes and I clean my stencils. There's only been a couple times I haven't cleaned my stencils right away. I'm always amazed, and that may be you, and it works for you, and that's great, and that's fine. The neighbor boy just came down the driveway on his little motorcycle, and he beeped his horn. I'm like, oh goodness, please don't do that. But I have trouble. I like to be able to see, because these clear ones, you can see through them. It's very nice to be able to see, I think, where you're stenciling and what you're stenciling. And I'm going to leave this guy behind in the dust again. I think this would be really pretty on a white with black wet lettering, really distressed. It would be really cute on that green that I used for the monkeys, the flying monkeys. I think that was Irish Moss by Deco Arts. That was a really bright, vivid, like witchy looking green. I think that would be really cool. So we've got 2 coats on there. You use down power wash. That's amazing. I'm not OCD, but okay, that looks nice. I like that. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? But I think I may put this on stakes. I'll stage it. But I think this would be super cute on stakes. And I'm going to close the bridges, so I'll turn it. We'll close the bridges on this one. We're doing so good today, girls. My goodness. It's 5 o'clock. I don't know what to do. So let's get we'll go over this, especially with some new people. I'm going to dry it, and I'm going to do a little, it always does help. Now, white can be such a pain. It just is. I just want to make sure it's good and dry. And I love my Stencil Smith liner brushes. This is a number 2. I might get one a little bit smaller. Okay, that one's a 1. I'm going to use a 1. And it is helpful. You use Fantastic. Oh, that's a good idea. I never thought about that. Purple and black. Oh, purple and black would be really pretty. Alcohol wipes. Oh, I never thought about that, Becky. So I like to sand with these, especially when I don't want to take anything off, really. Packing paper, or this paper. But just kind of lightly around the bridges. You can go over the whole thing. Like I said, you want to make sure, but it does, because you can feel like it's a little bit raised where those bridges are. And that does help knock them down just a bit. I love this stencil. I've been wanting to make this. I've had it for quite a while and I haven't made it yet. You know how you have a to-do list and then like the season passes and you're like, darn it. So just a real light little sanding, and it does knock those bridges down really nicely. And I'm going to get a little bit of water here. So I do like to get a little bit of water. Thank you, Sandy. Hi, Donna. How are you? I'm just going to get a little bit of water on my brush. I like to dip it, and then just kind of knock it. And then get my paint. So it's a little watery, not super wet. You don't want it super watery, but it thins it just a bit. And I'm just gonna start closing these bridges. And I should have. And the bridges are the little places that she had to put a little bitty piece of Mylar. Just so, like the middle of the bee doesn't fall out, stuff like that. And do go away from you towards you when you're closing bridges. That way you're not going this way and putting your hand in the paint as you go. And yes, I've definitely done it before. I forgot, I want to close these little guys down here. Two on the border corners. You don't have to, but I want to. And they have some really, really cool border corners. So I'm going to dip that in the water again and get a little bit more paint and kind of tap it off so you don't set a big glob down. Like I set a really big glob down right there. It was way too thick. But that's where you go over the white and you sand it just a bit. And it really helps it, really helps it kind of fade in with it. Black's the best for covering. White, you just kind of finagle it a little bit. I want to get these little, right there, let me get them. And you don't have to do this. I really like to do it, especially if it's a font. Now my sister, she's the total opposite. She hates to close bridges. I think it's a personal thing. I think sometimes once you start and you get the hang of it, it's really hard not to. I know April told me about, I think it was one of her customers who, it does make it look antique. I love, and like I said, April has a ton of border corners. Like I just saw, this is a flag. I have my flags over here that I made for myself. It's a little beat up, but this is my flag that I made for myself. It's a little dusty, pardon guys. Got gouging up. So see these border corners? These are some border corners. It didn't come with this stencil, but I added it to this stencil. And it can just really make something pop, and it just really adds some elegance. It's just a super cool thing to use or have on hand, and there's so many different sizes. I already did that. I'm just getting this D here, and it doesn't take super long. The script I love to just absolutely love to close because it just makes it really flow. This font's really pretty too. That's another thing. April chooses some of the prettiest fonts. And did you see the ghosts that she did with the flowers? Is that not adorable? That's what I've been seeing everywhere, and people do those ghost, either the ghost pictures, they paint over those old home interior paintings, which I keep meaning to go to a thrift store and look for one. But that ghost is so cute. I just love it. It's adorable. I dotted that. Now, if you make a mistake, like I just did, don't fret. Just get your little wet wipe and wipe it up, and it'll come right off like an eraser. In fact, I got that one a little too. Yeah, I had the awfulest time with this paint. Not this black paint, but that white paint. It was just, I think it was too thick. And then I was reading and it said and it was acrylic polymer. And I had never, I don't know if they all have polymer in them, I'm not sure, but it was weird. It would have been really good for stenciling, I think, as it was thick, but it wasn't good for like painting, I didn't think. Let's still get that in there a little bit. And there's quite a few bridges on this one. And I'm really lots of times I leave one bridge, not on purpose. I just miss a bridge. But yeah, I love these border corners. So let's rinse that out. Rinse those out, your liner brushes. Don't let them sit in water. And I went a little bit right there. I'm going to give it a little dry, and then I'm going to give it a little light sand with my paper here and see how I like it. I might do another coat. I'm not sure. I usually, that's a 1. Lots of times I use like a 1. It depends on the size of them. Lots of times I use like a 0. I like it smaller rather than big. And so I'm just going to take my little piece of paper there and kind of sand over it just a little bit. And it kind of rubs that in just a little bit where the bridges are. People really don't notice it. And I don't know if you've ever looked, like really looked at signs, like as a whole, like at Hobby Lobby or anything like that. When you're looking at them, they kind of make little mistakes or little bloopers or this or that, I think, to make them look a little more human. So that piece of packing paper just lightly distresses it and really works it in there so it looks good. Jeff's got to take Brody to practice, or I would be cutting those steaks after this. Now I do want to take my little gator sander, and I am gonna distress kind of a little bit around the edges. I just feel like this needs to be a little bit distressed. I had a whole different plan for it, but that white paint was just horrible. There's still some underneath it, and it's just like really gooky. I love distressing the edges. I just think it, like something like this, it makes it look like it's been sitting out in the woods for a little bit. And I always like to distress when I'm doing that, like the corners. I like to distress those. And then I would distress a little bit. See, that's the back. I got to repaint this. This was a mess. I might have to sand that down. It was just, I have never seen paint like that. I like to distress the edges. And then I'm just going to real lightly, very lightly, kind of go over this real light. It's very hard when you're distressing things because sometimes you go just a little too far and you're like, oh. But I think this just, right there where there's no, I think it makes it look more worn and weathered. So what do you guys think? Do you like that? Well-behaved children, welcome, and will be made into pies. But the more you distress it, the more that you, those bridges will fade in with the white. The black cover, really good, but you can just barely see them. So, but I love this one. I think it'd be a fun one to either hang on your door. You could put it on stakes in your yard. I think it's just a fun stencil. And then this pillow we did as well. I absolutely love how that came out. And I love this fabric. And I will post the forms and the fabric, the pillow fabric. After the live, I'll post it in the comments as soon as we go off. Now tell everyone how you will seal this. Okay, this I would seal so Sherry, if I'm going to put it outside, which I'm assuming people will probably want that outside, I would seal it with this. This is what I like. Rust-Oleum 2x matte clear. I get mine at Home Depot. It's a spray, and I put it on parchment paper on a table. I have a little rolling table I roll out at the edge of my garage, and I spray it with this. And the parchment paper, these don't stick to the parchment paper. So this is a really good sealer. I've used it for years. I've never had any issues with it. I don't have any fading or anything like that. Some people like a satin or a gloss, but I like the matte. I don't like something real glossy or shiny, but it's a personal preference. So I use that. Now if this was going to be for the inside, I would use, I must already have it out, my Dixie Belle Best Dang Wax. I love this stuff. So that's what I would use if I was going to put it inside, and I used it like on this I made the other day, and it is like when it's just so smooth. It's like, I don't know, you probably can't see the difference, but if you saw a sign that didn't have it on, it just gives it a really nice sheen. It's almost slick. And it lets it, thank you, Judy. I appreciate it. Thank you so much for being here and sprinkling. Great for a restaurant. That would be great for a restaurant. I have a friend who owns a local tavern here. It's a restaurant tavern. That would be a fun sign for her tavern, I think. But yeah, but the Dixie Belle, and it makes it like easy to dust. It just makes it a next level. You don't have to seal it for inside, but this is what I like to use for inside. You do not have to seal, but I am telling you, it takes Sure Signs to like the next level. It gives it a really pretty, nice sheen to it. If you use, even my sister, I made a sign and I sent it down to her and she's like, what did you use on this sign? Oh, that's awesome, Chris. Match your favorite too, Stacy? Yeah, I'm a matte girl. Yes, and a lot less work, I think. For inside, heck yeah, Leda. You just take a, you would take a, I use these, you can see I've used them for a lot of things, but I have these old towels that I bought, flour sack towels, that I didn't like. They were thin and they weren't great quality for stenciling, so I've turned them into my rags, and I just get a little bit of wax, Leda, and I don't have it. I'll put a little bit on this sign just to show you. Even though I've already waxed it, you just get a little bit, and it's white on the rag. I don't know if you can see that, and you just rub it in. See, it's white, but you rub it in. It's like wax on, wax off, like the Karate Kid. You wax it on, and then you get a dry spot once you get it all waxed, and you wax it off. And it just seals it beautifully. It is amazing. I highly recommend this for inside. If you want to seal, you don't have to seal your signs inside. But I think if you're selling them, or even if you're giving them for gifts, or just for yourself, it just makes them, it just brings them up one level more. Just like using a